the Little Summit, I think is how it's pronounced, river. And hi, everybody. It's been a couple days. We've been busy doing the whole Alaska thing. We're in Palmer. We're visiting some good friends here, and that's been really neat. It's made it so that I don't have near as much content to show you, but that's okay because we've done some fish cleaning and had some good food and got massages and went to a pride festival, and so we've had a great time. Sorry I didn't get any of it for you, but this is kind of our part of the vacation just for us. So all those boulders have been deposited by the glaciers, and of course that river is also glacier fed. Everything here is glacier fed. See how clean that window is? Dana washed that this morning. So now I can record for you guys without bug guts everywhere. We are in Hatcher Pass. We're going up Hatcher Pass. We just passed a sign that said this area is open for recreational gold mining. Well, that sounds like fun. Not something we're going to do because we don't have any of the stuff, but it sounds like fun. That's pretty up there. It's so green. We're still here in Hatcher's Pass. I just pulled out on this pull-out for this view. Wow, it's like 61 degrees up here. I gotta show you guys the fireweed, that's it. It's so pretty. It's bigger here than it was in Canada. A lot taller. I mean, all of that spout right there is flowers that haven't bloomed yet. So you're talking probably almost 2 foot for that bloom stalk right there, not even including going down to the ground. I bet it's close to 3.5, 4 foot tall. Just gorgeous. Can you smell the fresh air? It's so clean up here. And they're not having fires this year, so that's really nice. All right, we better get on over this pass. So at one time, this was Alaska's second largest gold mine area. We're gonna go in here and learn about it. There are between 8 and 10 miles of mine underneath this place. So yes, that was the number 2 bunkhouse. It's built to accommodate 50 men. There was a movie theater on the first floor that could seat 80 people, and they watched movies twice a week. So this is the framing shop. Timbers for supporting underground workings were cut and fit here, as were heavy timbers needed for camp building and other construction projects. This framing shop was built in 1940 to replace a smaller one located in the shop line below the mill. This was the number 1 bunkhouse. This was built, it started in the spring of 1938. Housed 54 men. It was considered the best accommodations among the 38 mines. Had heat, running water, and electricity. Let's go see what this building was. So it was the engineering office and warehouse. This is where they diligently mapped and followed the underground workings. Information gathered from the mapping helped them follow the gold veins and determine where the miners would drill next. So there was also a school on the second story of this building, second floor of this building. So this was the mine office and commissary. Banking, buying, bunking, and bull. This was the last of 3 buildings completed during the construction season of 1937. Daily decisions regarding operation, payroll, purchasing, shipping, and receiving were made at the mine office. It also housed the camp commissary, the original engineering office, and the post office. And it was a temporary bunking house until the first bunkhouse was built. This was an apartment house. July 3rd, 1937. It was completed 7 weeks later. The 4 apartments in this building were living quarters for married supervisors with families, such as mill, mine, and shop foremen. All right, so this is where they ate dinner, cookhouse and mess hall. And just look at those clouds rolling through back there. Isn't that cool looking? Super cool. Almost creepy. All right. You can seat 160 men. 10 tons of potatoes could be stored in the basement bins. Typical in dinner included platters of steaks, pork chops, roast, potatoes, several kinds of vegetables. Pies, cakes, cookies, and canned fruit were served for dessert. In addition to 3 meals a day, a mug-up consisting of sandwiches, cakes, pies, and coffees was served in the late evening to accommodate fierce appetites. Alright, so ore from deep inside the peak was brought down by buckets or cars. From up there, you can kind of see the cars right there. That was brought down. From the cars, it was dropped on conveyor belts that went through the ore sorting plant where it was screened, washed, and crushed. Waste rock was then removed by hand, and the remaining ore continued to a fine ore bin ready to be fed into the ball mills. The 2 ball mills, with total capacity to mill 80 tons of ore per day, operated year-round, 24 hours a day. Ore was fed from the fine ore bin into the cylindrical ball mills. The ball mills, which revolved like cement mixers, were partially filled with steel balls that we saw earlier, water, and mercury. The balls rolling and cascading within the cylinder crushed the ore. Then a slurry consisting of pulverized rock, gold, mercury, and water exited the ball mills and flowed over a series of stepped copper plates where they were coated with mercury. When the gold and mercury came in contact with each other, they instantly formed an alloy called gold amalgam. The amalgam was scraped from the plates once every 8 hours. It was then pressed to remove any excess mercury and taken to the assay office for retorting. Overflow from the amalgamation plates flowed into a rate classifier where materials were still too large, were separated and returned to the ball mills for another grinding. Okay, so do you guys see this slide of rock right here? That is a rock glacier. So it is rock and ice covered by a layer of loose, dry rock that insulates it and helps inhibit its melting. I'm gonna go mine for some gold. So this is what this hillside used to look like. This building right in front of me used to be a pipe, sheet metal, and electric area. This is what it kind of looks like now. I don't think it held up as well as our house did. So this was built in like 1939, 1940. The craft projects in this. All right. Big engines in there. It was a wing that was built in 1937 and housed several diesel generators and air compressors. It took 1,000 gallons of fuel each day to keep the mill running. This was the assay office. They tested the samples from the mine and mill to determine where to mine next, and they retorted, or they used a process called retorting, which separated the mercury from the gold here. So this is what they call the water tunnel. Those train cars you saw back there used to have to be hand pushed until they created this water tunnel. And then the water tunnel would carry all the rock down through this process and make it a lot easier so they didn't have to manhandle those cars down to the bottom. Isn't that pretty? All right, water tunnel. Oh gosh, it's so cold in here, guys. The temperature drops instantly the minute you walk in here. You see where the water is running over? That's actually going into the mine.